Hi guys, how are you? Welcome back to my garden on this typical winter day. You get to see my back. This is where the farmland is, and there is a thin layer of snow on there, and there is actually a little bit of snow going on today. So I'm standing down by this slope, and this is an area that I'm still developing a lot and that I want to tackle a little more with you today. So I am at that side of the slope that I've already built these terraces last year. And I really want to start developing more and more this area in my future videos to come. So especially this year, really try and focus on growing all different kind of like shrubs, perennials, annuals, some of the tender plants. I really want to put some cannas maybe here and really also try and play up more color, make it a little more rich and beautiful and bountiful and zingy and all of that basically. Because when it comes to the upper garden, I have a quite distinct color concept going on, and I really focus more on like specific plants and really have these big drifts. And I also want to do something like this, and I want to have this like organic feel, like from the upper garden moving all the way down here. But the further down it goes, I kind of want to play up more colors potentially. This is just what's going on in my head right now, so let's see what I'm going to do in the end. Sometimes a good idea transforms into something completely different. But what I want to do in today's video is I am standing at this last bottom layer here. I haven't done anything to it this year or last year. So they were actually growing some weeds. There's still some perennial weeds in here. On one side there is like the last layer of the terrace. So if I just swing around and show you again basically, you get to see there's a last layer on the terrace here, there's a narrow strip here, and then on that side there is a dead hedge with all my willow cuttings on top of it. So what I want to do in today's video is start tackling the bottom here and really try and get out as many perennial weeds as possible. But what I'm going to do first basically is start with preparing the willow branches and everything. Just strip them off, get out all of the nice looking branches, put them aside, because then I can do something nice with them, because they are literally screaming, Daniel, make something basket weave out of us. And I have a genius, not genius, but a nice pretty idea what I want to do with them. So I hope you're excited about today's video. It's a typical winter video, so maybe, I'm not sure if there will be like a big visual impact by the end of it, maybe a little bit of a visual impact, at least I'm hoping there will be. Anyways, I'd love to share that with you, and I hope that you are really excited about today's video. It is a couple of weeks later. I can't even remember when I started this project with you. I kind of think 4 weeks from now, probably. Because what happened in between, we had like lovely winter days. It was cold and frosty and snow and everything. And now we have like 2, 3 milder days in between. where I could just really get in here and start tackling this area now and finish things off properly. So I had the opportunity to get in there and really work with all of the willow branches. I'm really excited to show you how that little fence section is sitting there and how it's looking now, and just talk you through the entire area basically. So today it took me probably like 2 hours to just really get in there with my garden fork, work through the entire soil, get all of the perennial weeds out and level it out, because it was still kind of like a little sloping down towards the dead hatch. So I'm quite confident now, it looks really well. One thing I wish I had mulch, because this is one of those moments when you wish you just want to finish it off, make it look nice and neat and fresh, like for new things to happen, and mulch always indicates that for me. But we're so much in the winter still that the garden center doesn't carry mulch at the moment, nor does the hardware store, so I can't really buy any mulch right now. But that is what it is right now. I mean, not a bad thing. Maybe when I see occasional weeds popping up now, I could just quickly go in there and continue with the weeding, so maybe that is even a good thing. But yeah, what I want to do now is flip the phone, show you everything, and talk you through what I intend on doing in the area down there. Look at it, how glorious the day is. We've got some really like thin clouds, but almost nothing. Can really see the beautiful blue skies. It's so mild. A little bit of a wind was picking up, but still, since it's so mild, I'm not bothered in the slightest. I'm so happy just to be out here and that I could enjoy some really lovely sunny days here. But what I want to show you actually first is this here. So this is how the fence section is looking like. And I think from the distance, it looks actually fairly well, because you really get to see the effect on how I weave everything, which is really nice. And considering that these branches, if I just give you a closer look again, are not straight growing. This willow really has these kind of like twisted branches. I think it still works pretty well, and the color is really nice. I'm kind of intrigued how it's going to age though. But so far, I really love that it's kind of like this green effect going on here. And I also quite like, if I just step back a little bit, that I decided not to make it straight, because there are a lot of straight lines going on here to kind of like break the pattern a little bit and to just curve it, because then also naturally you kind of walk around it a little bit in between the fence and the stump here and find your way into this area. And it is obviously a very long strip going on here, but the soil is really nice, good texture. Don't think I need to improve a lot, maybe just a little bit in the planting hole when I'm planting. But you can tell here by the end, this is where it gets a little more shady. And I need to see, in my head, I wanted to put some ilex maybe here, because this is obviously the bottom layer. And this is also where hedgehogs, for example, might come in, and all the wildlife is kind of like wandering around. So I kind of want to make it as wildlife friendly as possible and create these areas and nooks where, for example, hedgehogs can even go in and do breeding and nesting and all of those kind of things. And Alfie can also enjoy this, of course, obviously. There's also a reason why I love to mulch things, because now she's running over the soil, and that makes her pawns like a little blackish again, but all right. I mean, whatever, it's okay. So here with the fence, I think the nice thing that it curves around also gives you the opportunity to plant something in the front and the back to incorporate the fence a little more. So you have this constant front and backdrop going on, and I think this is quite exciting actually for an area like this. Also to have something a little bit like, I don't want to say architectural, because it is a very organic thing actually what I'm building here, but still to have something that is handmade in a way. And I kind of feel I want to do something else down here as well, like a second area like this. So it guides you through this area. What I want to do is really plant up all different things like shrubs, grasses. I was kind of thinking like some asters and grasses in here, also here. So to have a similar kind of planting that really just draws your eye down from the top all the way to the bottom, and the further down it goes, there should be more shrubs. So here really intent on mixing kind of like an herbaceous border, and then behind the dead hedge, I'm pretty much only going to grow shrubs, I think. Maybe a few asters or something where I have a lot of offspring. But yeah, this is kind of my plan, and so far I'm really happy with how this area is developing. That is it for today's video. I hope it was interesting for you and exciting for you. I don't even know how long this video is going to be, to be honest, because it happened over so many weeks now that I'm kind of like going into the editing. I really need to try and find everything again on my phone, what I actually did. And let's see. For me, like this area is something that excites me so much in the garden, because it's so much work in progress and kind of like free-spirited. And I know what I want to do, then I know what I want to get out of this area. Like the slope on the back of a garden for me is kind of like a productive area. Once I side I really want to dedicate to kind of like the beauty of like flowers and shrubs, and I could just get in there and just cut back for like cut flower arrangements and all of that. But I don't want to grow things just like in straight lines, you know. I just don't want to make it look like a field where I grow something just for the purpose of cut flowers. I still want to make it feel kind of like organic and natural and like melting into the landscape, if that makes any sense to you. While the other side of the slope, clearly I want to dedicate only to my fruit production, like food, fruit, vegetable, all of that basically. And this is what excites me so much. Hope that this video is going to be interesting for you. I'm going to share every single moment what is still going to come back there in the garden with you in the future, and I hope that you have a great day, and I would love to welcome you in my garden very soon again. Up until then, have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.